Half a day, and welcome to Foodie Call. Good morning. Today I have, or afternoon, whenever you're listening to this. We are days away from Ash Wednesday, and on Guam, there's still a lot of us who are very traditional, or we grew up very traditional, observing that time of the year. It's also, Jason, what is it? Chamorro, Guam history. Chamorro history, Guam history.
I could eat chamorro or something.
There you go.
Guam history and Chamorro Heritage Month.
All right.
Yeah, and you're still spelling it the old way.
I'm spelling it the new way.
Wait, what's the old spelling?
C-H.
Regular H.
A-M-R-R-O.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, not with the U.
Which, actually, if you go to California, you'll get a kick out of yourself, because if you go down the meat aisle and you look for beef shank, it's going to say chamorro, right?
No, wait, what?
That's what it is.
Hey, you work for the administration, Adrian. How come they're still spelling it the old way, even though we've already said we're spelling it the new way?
No comment. Ask Crystal Paco. Don't ask me.
I know. How far they forgot already. But Lent was a very important part of Chamorro tradition. I mean, most people were Catholic back in the days, and there were plenty who weren't. And I think this is still a good topic for people who aren't Catholic. It's just part of our Guam culture.
They're Neopagans now.
Neopagans?
Yeah.
Like Neopagans?
As in new paganism, right? Like
that's a good one.
Lapsed. Because, you had this whole generation that was like super Catholic, but their kids didn't sort of go to church, but they were exposed enough that, they had cultural Catholicism. But now, so the kids who were exposed to Catholicism, but they never went to church, now their kids for real don't go to church, and they're like neo-pagans now, right? So
that voice you hear, or you see, is Adrian Cruz, and we also have Nicolas here to the left of him.
My classmate from
our classmate from high school.
These are the
we did Catholic school together.
Yeah, we did. And here's a neo-pagan now.
But that's great. I think I like that contrast of what these neo-pagans, our lapsed Catholics, what we do.
I think the third generation is beyond lapsed Catholic. They're not Catholic at all. They're just, YouTubers.
You think that's
Facebookers.
Oh gosh. And Adrian, you're very familiar with the church. You are former
I was in the seminary for a long time.
Yeah, well, who wasn't a seminarian at one point in time? You were a undertaker?
Yes, I was.
That too. And Ken, you like food?
I always say you need 10,000 hours or something to be a prodigy at something, right?
Wow,
it's Malcolm Gladwell, right? So, I figure I got 30 years of eating a lot of food.
Wow.
And 30 plus years of that. So,
how's your triglycerides?
They're good, man. My triglycerides are actually really, really good. Let's not get into the health thing right now. I'm on this health craze lately, but
man, I just came from I have a new doctor, and so they have to do all the bells and whistles, and they told me that my all my levels of cholesterol are really good. In fact, they're a little too good. So there's good cholesterol. My bad cholesterol is all awesome numbers, but my good cholesterol is so low that I have to eat really bad food now.
There you go. You got to eat more of the green leafy vegetables.
No, he's
HDL,
fried food.
Oh, really?
So you need more bacon in your life, Adrian.
Yeah, I need more bacon in my life.
What?
Yeah.
So the good cholesterol is HDL.
Yes.
The bad cholesterol is
everything.
LDL.
Yeah. So
lechon de leche is bad.
Yeah. Well, except for me, I need to eat lechon now because I don't like fatty food. So.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't like the texture. It's gross.
But Adrian, if you don't know him, he's very Antigu, kind of that way. And we actually do a lot of food traditions between us two.
Oh, yeah.
We do. He always invites me to his fiestas. Every Halloween, he throws a dumb supper where it's an 8-course meal served in reverse, and you can't speak during that.
Lacey, did you go to school with Adrian?
No, I didn't. Adrian and I went to...
We volunteered together.
When we were kids, in high school.
Oh, that's interesting, because I went to school with Adrian for 4 years, and I never got invited to 8-course meal party.
Well, this is us as adults.
Wow.
Now.
Yeah, we're big boys.
And first of all, Adrian brings a casket out too. You don't want. I don't know. It's super creepy. I've been telling people about this. I invited Sabrina last time, and she's too scared to go. Maybe this year. It's Halloween though. We do it on Halloween. So if you have kids, and we just drink a lot. And
it's a short list right now.
Yeah.
No, there's maybe like 30 people.
Oh, wow. I'm not even in the 30.
But he's kind of just our Guam expert at this
Wow, really?
when we're talking about Lent. So tell us, Adrian, you grew up with your grandparents. What are the kind of traditional things for it? Ash Wednesday's coming up. Maybe you're listening to this afterwards, but that's kind of the start. That's it.
No, that's actually not it. So, no there's like 3 weeks prior to the beginning of Ash Wednesday. They're called Quaquadresima, Quinquagesima, and Sexagesima. That's 4, 5, and 6, right? And so it's kind of because traditionally Lent is a lot more rigorous than most people do now. And so it was a time to kind of start settling in. So before, those people who go to church now, every Sunday up to now, the priest is wearing green and everything is still hunky-dory. But in the past, they would already start wearing the purple. And so if you had like something hard to give up, like cigarettes or whatever, you can start weaning yourself off in that time.
Never heard of that.
And then this week, man, you would just be eating everything you want because you got to get rid of it by Mardi Gras, which is Fat Tuesday.
So are we doing that? Anybody like eating their heart out and you guys
I am.
got something?
Yeah,
something?
Why not?
Well, you don't eat bad. You don't eat poorly, though.
Well, I'm going
He's going
to.
to have to now by the doctor's orders.
But I'm getting rid of all the meat in my house, so... my family's going to go... well, I say my family, it's just me and my housekeeper at my house, but me and my housekeeper are going to go on a pretend diet. So, we're going to not eat meat.
So we're in terms of traditional food-wise, fish on Fridays, fish on Ash Wednesday. What is the standard Ash Wednesday diet we're supposed to have?
Nothing. Yeah, it's a day of fast and abstinence. So traditionally that means fast means like refrain. So eat a good dinner on Tuesday because you're not eating till Thursday. So I'm gonna do it. It's not that difficult. Most people think it's hard, but once you drink a cup of tea by lunchtime, you actually feel much better. Yeah, you'll be fine.
You can have tea?
Oh yeah, you can drink things, just don't eat stuff. Some people eat tea and bread.
So that's the traditional. Now, what are the kind of neo-Catholic?
Well, I know some crazy people that think that birds are not meat, so chicken is fair game, but I don't know where they got that from. If it lives on the land, then you can't eat it.
Well, that's a good Lent mythbuster.
Yeah. Chicken is meat. So all kinds of poultry.
How about for the 40 days of the Lenten season? What are you not supposed to have?
Well, you're not.
I always thought it was like a sacrifice. Like,
it is. It's supposed to be.
Something.
That's
like
right.
a penance.
So does it really have to be food?
No, and it doesn't even have to It doesn't even have to be something that you give up. It could be something that you add on, right? Like some people, they'll say, "Okay, I'm not going to eat rice, or I'm not going to smoke cigarettes," and the money that I usually put towards that, I'm going to use for something else. Or I'm just going to live normally, but now I'm going to pray a rosary a day while I walk around UOG.
But that's like food for a lot of us is a vice and something that we all do together, in fact.
As you can see, we're full of vices.
So what does the church say in terms of what people can eat and how much they can actually eat?
Well, officially a day of fasting, right? Fasting would consist of 1 meal a day, and you can have 2 snacks, but they cannot equal a meal. And abstinence means you refrain from eating flesh. So, meat.
I'm so hungry right now. Actually, we need to hurry up around here. Okay. And fish on Friday, that's like a long-held
that's
Catholic
a long-held
tradition.
Yeah, but you know what? I don't think that's officially a part of the rules anymore. I mean, it's been super watered down. Oh man, we used to do all kinds of stuff. We used to not be able to make noise. I wouldn't get spanked the entire Lent, which was awesome. But then on what's called Bright Monday, it's called Gloria. And then on Bright Monday, which is the day after Easter, you better wear 3 pairs of underwear because you're going to get it, right?
Also, I wanted to ask, since we're myth-busting on Lent, people tend to think on Sundays...
Yeah.
They don't...
It's a cheat day?
Yeah.
It kind of is.
Is it?
Yeah. It doesn't count... when you do calculations of Lent, it's 40 days. They minus the Sundays.
So what does the church say about that? Is that true?
Yeah, because Sundays are
a day of rest,
it's a day of rest.
But like, how is that like a penance, and how are you really like committed to something if you're like, oh, well, I'll just eat it on Sunday?
Well, I mean, this is not a marathon, and what's better for you to have one cheat day or for you to make a promise and then not be able to keep it? So you gotta have a little mercy on yourself. I mean, even an endurance athlete will know that they have to have a day that they gotta chill out. So
I've never heard that either.
Yeah,
I mean, not the endurance athlete part, but I don't know. We just took the 40 days and tried to, not the 40 days, we took the Lent season and stuck to them. All right, so what are your Lent traditions growing up? What were yours growing up? Ken, did you grow up?
I grew up in a Catholic household, and I went to private school with Adrian. We both went to Father Duenas, and I try to stay away from the meat, right? The red meat.
Notice the word try.
Yeah, I tried. But, and I like fish. I really like fish, right? I like salmon. I like tilapia. I like lapu-lapu. So, I mean, Lent is kind of the excuse to go and eat all the different type of fish that's out there for me. So,
well, Lent, some people ask, why is it fish, right? Why not just go vegan or whatever? And the reason is because in medieval Europe, fish was a poor man's food. And so to not be able to eat meat was a sacrifice. And in some coastal countries where fish was, the norm, they would just not eat it at all and go vegetarian. So the point is to give up something that you like, right? Or you're supposed to deny yourself so that you can focus on the spiritual life. So somebody here like Ken who likes fish, I knew this guy from Santa Rita. He loves fish and eats it all the time. So for Lent, he doesn't eat fish and he eats meat.
Oh, wow.
Because to him, eating meat was
a sacrifice.
Yeah, because it's not what he wanted. He wanted lobster. He wanted, palaxi. So, yeah. So
in your family growing up, Adrian, did they cut you off on meat?
Yeah, we wouldn't eat meat, eggs, dairy, no butter, no... Oh, wow. Yeah, anything that came from an
So you
animal.
didn't even eat an egg sandwich on Ash Wednesday?
No, we would eat like peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
So that's what I remember.
Or we just wouldn't eat at all.
Growing up, and on Ash Wednesday, we eat
Pantosta.
tuna sandwich, egg sandwich. That's it. Water.
So what are you going to do this year? What are you going to do on Wednesday?
What am I going to do on Wednesday? It's probably just going to be that.
Why don't you just fast altogether?
Because I work.
So do I.
We get hangry here,
We'll deal with it. Be charitable.
Maybe that's something that I would strive to.
The tea, just drinking tea, like you won't believe what wonders it will do. Really, tea makes everything better in your life. For any situation, just have a pot of tea and you'll be all right.
This is a foodie podcast, though. Like, it's about food.
There's good tea,
You're talking about not
there's
eating.
Good tea.
It sucks.
Try it out.
So I
challenge you.
On the flip side of things, before we go into what you guys are planning on doing, on Guam, it just seems like in my family, okay, yes, it's tough to give up meat because you it's like psychological. You always need to eat meat, but it becomes that seafood fest that you were talking about. Yeah. All the great seafood stuff comes out at the restaurants, at fast food, and
KFC,
right?
KFC Lenten specials.
Waiting on that.
No, I like Wendy's. Wendy's fish fillets are awesome.
Those are good, but I'm all about the KFC, like the shrimp, popcorn shrimp. Oh my!
It's like you can get shrimp all the time, like at least once a week, right? I mean, if you're,
it's a little decadent. Let's be honest, like. The Lenten season has warped into, exploiting everybody's
Mardi Gras on ice.
Need to enjoy or to have fish at Mardi Gras on ice.
But yeah, I really do look forward to the KFC menu. I love the Wendy's cod fillet.
It's so good.
People love
it's better than McDonald's.
Yeah, people love double fillet of fish.
I'm not gonna lie. I really like the fillet of fish from McDonald's.
I don't like.
I'm
that could just be.
It's really standard for me.
Right.
I don't know.
That could just be a Guam standard because that's what you had, if you were going to do fast food on Guam, filet of fish from McDonald's. This Wendy's thing is just kind of a new thing in the last 10 years or so.
Is it?
picking up those.
Well, that fancy cod fillet is, I think, where it's crispy. And,
Oh, yeah.
Yep. I'm hungry.
Panko battering.
Yeah.
But when I was going,
Thinking about it right now.
my parents or my mom is kind of a cook, right? Actually, my grandparents were all cooks, so my mom, learned how to cook, and we'd always have big seafood like shrimp, and I mean, shrimp is a luxury for us, lobster, crab. So I'm not sure, wow, we're hurting.
Yeah,
So
I
it's
mean,
kinda
it's
like a
definitely
cheat.
not.
Philippines, and,
It's
and
not.
he's been eating a lot of crabs. That's why.
The Philippines got a lot of seafood. So, but man, yeah, now that I think about it, shoot, the Lenten season, it's really not a penance
if you like
you've
it.
turned it into
Stuffed
just
crab, man.
Like, oh, here, let me go. Dad, go buy like a case of Dungeness crab and let's go make that for a week. It's not exactly a penance anymore.
But
I
that's
love
okay.
seafood.
That's okay.
Seafood's too good.
And my mom would turn. She made some dishes, and she says it's because I was picky growing up. Like, she'll make them. She blames it on me for making dishes vegetarian. So, like mungo beans, she makes vegetarian.
Why, you're vegetarian, or
no? I was just like a kid. I was kind of I don't like ham hocks.
I don't like ham hocks.
No, I'm not a ham hock.
So she just didn't make it with anything. She didn't make it with any meat. She just used other things to flavor it. Chamorro stuffing, the rizzano, is that what it's called?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she doesn't put the meat in it. And I don't like it with the meat. It's weird. It becomes gritty.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
I know. Are you sure?
What kind of chamorro am I? I don't know. Well,
I don't
blame
eat
my
hot
mom.
things, so
That's right. What kind of? Never
Oh,
mind.
wow.
We won't go into that.
I don't like peppers, man. I don't know. It's terrible.
Don't eat this salad that's in front of you, because this thing has got like 6 doni peppers in here. This is good. You guys want to talk about the salad we got here? Okay, guys.
Sure. Let's talk about this because
I made this special salad that was passed down from generations and generations. My stepmother taught me how to make this, but before they taught me how to make this salad, I had to spend 3 years learning how to cut the tomatoes and lettuce first. Just like a Jiro. You ever watch Jiro Dreams of Sushi? They got the sushi rice guy, and he has to spend like 3. Anyway, so I got this salmon kelaguen salad right here. Usually I got cucumbers in here, but I don't know, there's a drought in cucumbers on the island right now, so we got just lettuce, tomatoes, the pink wild Alaskan salmon, not the green
it's
can,
wild,
but the red can, guys. $20 for 2 cans. This is $40 worth of salmon up in this thing right now. It's good. It's good. This is a hit. This is a monster hit. You guys, if you want to try some, it's pretty hot, though.
And I want you to tell us a little more about this, because then we were talking about what you eat, fish. And so this is kind of something that people can think about, I guess, on Fridays when they do the fish on Friday, or if they cut it out.
Sure, definitely. This is a relatively simple dish to prepare. There's no cooking involved. You're not stinking up the house. Like,
it's good for the
baking something. Yeah, and this is just canned food, right? You just take the stuff out. Drain the liquid, put some salt, lemon powder or lemon if you have lemon, mix up the meat, the salmon portion, dice up tear up your cabbage, take out the insides of the tomato because you don't want it wet, right? You want this to be relatively dry, so you clean out the tomato, cucumbers, mix that together and just throw it in. 10 minutes, you got like the best meal ever. So, and it's a salad, so it's helpful, right?
All right.
It's healthy. There's no rice.
Dish that out, Ken.
Here you go. Yeah, sure. Grab some, guys. Grab some. Here you go.
And what I did ask Ken to talk about this particular salad because in Chamorro cuisine, because of post-war Chamorro, canned food was very important to Chamorros, and it still is for a lot. Not particularly in my household because,
Well, I mean, if you're talking about post-war, then it's kind of easier to deal with canned food than it would be to make food when you don't have a kitchen.
Right?
Your
That
kitchen's
too.
bombed out, so.
But let's face it, guys. Dinty Moore beef stew, corned beef hash, like, that's not healthy, right? That is really processed. That's pretty bad for you. But like every Chamorro, like, I mean, if I was 18, if you ask 18-year-old me my favorite 3 foods, I'll tell you right now, it's a beef stew. corned beef hash, and kadu. So, like, I mean, you know, everything that you want for a balanced diet. You know what I mean? Like 2 processed canned foods and then kadu. So, yeah, you know, but this is a much healthier option right here. You got lettuce, you got tomatoes, you got a bunch of vegetables, a little bit of salmon. Lacee, just go ahead and dig in there. Grab some.
I know, I'm pretty excited about this. I love salmon, but I don't know anything about
might be a little
salmon.
hot.
Okay, so tell me about canned salmon because
Sure.
I didn't know that there was like a tier.
There are different. I did not know either until I paid for it. But
well, just because something is more expensive doesn't mean that it's better.
This is true, but in this case, it is.
Is it?
It is better. Okay, it's got it's a fatty, more tasty type of salmon, and you can really taste the difference if you try something from the red can versus the one from the green can, guys. The green can is $7.99. And the red can is $19.99, right? There's a significant price difference. Yeah, it's crazy. So, for two cans. But it's a significant different color. Like this one is a lot more pink.
So more food coloring in this one.
I don't know.
Oh, watch out for the peppers. Adrian doesn't eat hot.
It is very hot, guys. It's hot.
Very hot.
Yeah, you know, you guys told me it was like the Chamorro Foodie Call podcast, and I was like, okay, well, how do I make this really chamorro? Let me throw in 6 Doni peppers in this. We're good. So
it is good.
Yeah.
I will eat. I'm so hungry.
Very refreshing.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Guys, it's better with cucumbers. You know, cucumbers really gives it that flavor.
And it's not so mata.
Yeah. It's not. But, you know, that's still pretty crisp.
You know, it's...
it's delicious, actually.
It's a refreshing dish. You can really taste the tomatoes. You can really the lettuce is still crispy, and the salmon. So everything's kind of contained. It's not like babwy, right? It's not just all.
Salmon tastes like salmon. Doesn't taste like a pomatic salmon.
Yeah.
So Adrian, what was
a pomatic salmon?
Sometimes. All right, I love fish, but I don't really care to eat salmon cooked.
What?
I like a lot of. I mean, I won't go out of my way to cook it because
salmon
I like
and coconut milk.
Yeah, because I like salmon sashimi.
Okay.
And I will cook it, you know, and they, you know, but I won't overcook. I hate you. It's a very fatty meat, so you want to keep as much fat in there as possible.
What is your guys' favorite fish?
Me?
Yeah.
Honestly, I like shark meat.
You got a fancy.
Great.
I like meat, not fin. Right, the fin is tasteless. The meat, it tastes like steak. It has the consistency of steak.
Like that's your favorite.
Among them, I like. Never mind, I won't say it. I like another kind of seafood that is frequently found at wedding parties.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like the flippers. I like the meat. I like Palaxi, of course. I can't stand freshwater fish. I think tilapia is the most disgusting and foul creature that ever. It is
a foul creature, but
and it tastes like you're eating mud. I won't eat catfish.
Tilapia.
Yeah, I don't like. I don't even.
Catfish is even another one that's kind of crazy too.
I'm sorry, I was
anything.
confused. Tilapia is pretty muddy.
It's dirty. The taste, though, you can taste it. It just tastes like po people food.
It's got that white meat, though. You know, like inside kind of tastes.
But that's why catfish has really kind of risen up. Actually, out of that beyond tilapia. Same premise. Muddy fish, but meatier. Okay, so what, Adrian, this isn't something that you ate growing up?
No, I did not eat this growing up.
What did you eat growing up? Did you eat tuna sandwiches?
Oh, yeah. You know, tuna sandwiches.
With capers.
Oh, is that how you guys ate it?
Guam used to be so famous for capers. I don't know why we don't do it anymore.
I've never heard of that.
The Spaniards used to collect capers from here, and it was like supposedly like 2 or 3 times the size of what we know as caper size now. They grow wild.
I do have really large caper. Mm-hmm. I see that from time to time. How did your family prepare your tuna salad, for example?
We would we'd take tuna, empty out the water, put some oil in it, stick some bay leaf in it, and black peppercorns, and then leave it in the refrigerator for a couple days, and then drain all that out, and that's what we would use. Oh man, it's so good! You gotta try it. Man, I don't even know.
That's fancy, Adrian.
What?
I've never heard of anybody doing that in Chamorro.
Well, I mean, you want to like soak it, right? You don't just want to eat this slop from a can, right?
True.
That's so terrible. And you already know that you're going to eat a lot, so you prepare a lot ahead of time. It's no different than marinating meat, right? Same thing. And the reason is because my grandma had an aversion for anything that was pomata, which is like I don't even know how you would say pomata in English. It's this
that overly
gamey,
right?
Yeah.
Gamey. Yeah, she couldn't handle it.
And how about you, Ken? Did you guys just eat it out of the can and mayonnaise?
Yeah, well, actually, I personally, I don't like a lot of mayonnaise and like the tuna mix. I like, I don't like mayonnaise. Period. I don't really like the taste of mayonnaise. I think it just feels like fatty cream, and I don't really like that with the texture of meat. But I would put like a little mayonnaise and like relish inside there, but nothing too crazy. Maybe some mustard.
See, we did the oil and stuff because we wouldn't do the mayonnaise because mayonnaise is eggs.
Oh,
Eggs and vinegar is mayonnaise, so yeah, we wouldn't need it.
Anybody put onions in there?
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, sometimes.
A garlic clove.
Actually, I don't really like tuna sandwiches. I will make those occasionally, but I had this like really weird fetish growing up with food. I would have tuna.
What'd you do with the food? What'd you do?
I would tuna from the can. I'd spill out the oil or the water.
And what'd you do with the oil?
And I would take cucumbers and tomatoes and put it in a bowl with the tuna and put vinegar and soy sauce in it, and I eat that with rice. So I don't know if that is a thing, but I made that a thing, guys. So if you ever see that around, I probably invented it or something. I don't know. It's good. Like, you guys got to try that. Just regular canned tuna, Starkist.
So you're telling me that you would drink the oil from the canned tuna?
No, spill out the oil from
and
the
just
tuna.
the meat with what?
Vinegar, soy sauce, cucumbers.
So
and
basically,
tomatoes.
you made one English.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm the founder of
So
Canned
most
one
people
English?
don't know what one English is. One English is a corruption of the word Guihan Anglis, which means English fish. And what it was is when the American and British whalers would pass through, they would bring salted salmon from like Alaska. And so the Chamorros would pickle it and eat it because, we don't have no damn salmon here, right? So that's why it's Guihan Anglis, because white people would bring it.
There was a Chamorro restaurant in Tamuning before, E-Casina. You guys familiar with E-Casina?
Long time
They
ago.
used to sell
One
like
English?
I don't know what. It was like a salmon. I think it was canned salmon with like, I don't know what was in it, vinegar, soy sauce, but there was definitely onions in it. And that was just it. Canned salmon with that and rice. And that was like, that was a godsend.
So it really was like eating your house food at a restaurant?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah. The Chamorro way.
But I guess, if you were a tourist, that'd be kind of cool. Very cultural.
Well, before...
E-Casina.
No,
That
E-Casina.
was over the old Palace Hotel, just now.
Yeah, at the Sheraton.
Growing up, even my grandmother would be upset. Like, she didn't want to eat rice when we would go out. And my mom is now the same
Why?
way. Because that's what you eat at home.
Oh, and she wanted to be fancy.
When you go outside, when you go to a restaurant, you eat mashed potatoes.
Yeah,
you
stuff
eat-
that you don't eat at home.
Right.
That's
But
smart.
now, because our manamku have already passed, or they're too old to cook or tired, now there are Chamorro restaurants, and it's like needed. Like that Chamorro food is needed even for me because I don't really cook too much of that at home.
When I was growing up, I used to be a little fat kid, and I would pile on my favorite foods, and my grandmother would always tease me and say, "Are you a Lancero?" And I kind of didn't understand that. Why is she asking me if I'm a rancher? And then I figured it out. I was like, oh, Chamorros eat quote unquote bad. There was a class difference in Chamorros, and Chamorros eat quote unquote bad because most of them are farmers. Like, we're still eating the way farmers do. We need a high caloric diet because we would go out and work all day, but now none of us do that work, but we still eat that same way. And then as a result,
That's true. That's the stuff you ate at the ranch.
yeah, but higher class Chamorro families would eat 3 or 4 or 5 times a day, smaller meals, lots of little, kelaguen and stuff like that. And yeah,
Twice a day, merienda.
yeah, and so you would have Chamorro families that did that and probably have better health today because they eat like quote unquote city folks, people from Hagatnya, and then all of a sudden you have the other side of the coin where people are piling on the rice and eating a lot of kadu because in their mind, or at least their body's mind, they're still going to go out and plow in Malolo or whatever they're going to do. I don't know.
So before we wrap up, what other Lenten traditions, Chamorro traditions do you remember, or should we kind of remind people about? And Good Friday also, that's a big...
Oh, yeah. Betna Santa, yeah.
Right.
You wouldn't eat it all. You tie up all your animals far away because you don't want them to make noise. And of course, by Monday, you're going to be kneeling down in front of a quata and for those people that don't know what a quata is, it's a stick, and they would take 2 leather thongs, usually from the tail of a cow, and braid them together like a girl's hair. Basically, you'd have a bull whip. And boy, yeah, it was not a fun day. I felt like Jesus Christ Superstar when you'd get beat by Monday afternoon, but... Yeah, and of course, if you made a lot of noise, there would be a wild pig that would come to get you because you're such a bad kid.
And they collect your sins, right?
Yeah, they're keeping track. So I think that's where the Chamorro vengeance and retribution comes from, is from that Lent time when they would keep track of all the things that you did. But
for Lent, I know I'm going to have to cut back on certain foods. I've been over gluttonous, truly. I'm probably going to cut back on my meat consumption. I don't know how.
I'm going to pretend to give up cigarettes.
Why pretend, Adrian?
It's hard. Actually, no, I did it for Advent. I quit cigarettes for Advent. That's only, 3 or 4 weeks? It's not so bad.
You can smoke on Sundays.
No, you either do it or you don't.
There you go. You either do it or you don't.
But I am going to fast for 72 hours on Holy Thursday to
I think that's my advice to people, or at least for me. You either do it or you don't. I mean, maybe you might fail from here to here, but keep going. But the Sunday thing, come on.
Yeah, and everybody knows themselves, so don't kid yourself. I think if you know that you can't give something up, then why don't you take something on? I remember how many years ago I started doing jiu-jitsu, and I told myself that I would only do it just for Lent as a penance, and then that turned into I don't know how many years. What belt do you now, Ken?
Still purple. Yeah. Purple's my favorite color. I think I'll hang out here for a while. Purple.
How about you, Ken? Are you planning on doing anything?
I wanted to give something up. I wasn't sure what, but I think now after listening to the podcast, and I think I want to give something up that's a little more substantial to me. I don't know if it'll be food. Maybe it'll be something. I eat a pretty, unbeknownst to you guys at home, I eat a pretty clean diet, right, for the most part. But yeah, I don't know. I'll give something up. Make some kind of big sacrifice in my life. I'm not sure yet. You
don't have much time to think about
less TV.
That's something.
Maybe I'll cut back my gaming consumption because I'm gaming tons of hours a day.
But you got to replace it with something. It's nature abhors a vacuum. So if you're going to take something out of your life, you got to fill it with something. So what are you going to do? Go for a walk?
Well, yeah, I work out 6 times a week right now. So unbeknownst to you guys at home.
Do you?
Yeah.
What do you do? CrossFit?
No, I do. I have a personal trainer. Work out Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Hayato?
No. Tuesday, Thursday.
Shout out to Hayato.
I swim.
Our
and on
other
Saturdays I do jiu-jitsu.
Yeah,
shout out to Hayato Italic. He's a great personal trainer, good friend as well.
Yeah.
But I'll figure something out. I'll figure something different.
I love Lent. I think it's a good challenge, and refocus what you need to do spiritually. Go to church probably is something that I need to do.
Yeah, something that someone recently told me was if you're trying to make a change in your life, you should try to make it the first changes so simple that you can't fail. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like cigarette smoking, that might be too difficult to give up for 40 days, right? But
you could do it.
Maybe
Willpower.
You can taper back on the amount of cigarettes you smoke. If you're smoking a pack a day, maybe doing half a pack a day or whatever. Small changes can have big results, right? So that's all I'm saying.
I guess so.
All right. Thanks so much for coming, guys.
Thank you.
I'd like to have you back again. I love these crossovers with Ken and Adrian.
Yeah, it's fun. Me and Adrian, we go way back.
Yeah,
so.
Almost 20 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
20 years.
Long
20
time.
years.
I think I've known you for 20 years as well, Adrian.
Longer.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, longer.
Sure,
It would have to be 30.
She and I used to volunteer at a sanctuary.
We weren't in it. We were volunteering.
She was in it. No,
Well, it's good. Thanks.
All
Thanks for
right.
having me on. It's fun. I hope you guys enjoyed some of the salad. I hope it wasn't too crazy.
it was good. It wasn't that.
I mean, if it was bad, you guys are doing a great job of hiding.
I'm
that
trying
it
to
was
wrap
bad.
this up so I can eat some more. I'm dying. I'm hungry, and it's really good. All right. Thanks so much, guys. Adjust.
Adios, Tato Haza.